Hello everyone and welcome to this latest episode of Book Time with Elvis with me, Mark, and I come to you today with a tag, and it's the wonderful Q tag created by Jim Books, Reading and Stuff, and it's the latest in his offerings of alphabet related tags. I was very kindly tagged by my dear buddy Summer at Cozy Reading and Quaker Cats, so yeah, I will, of course, leave a link to those channels in the description. Thank you for doing that, Summer. Very kind of you. Here we go. So I'll jump right in. So the prompts. Q is for quick. What was a quick read for you? A book you read in 1 or 2 sittings. I don't remember too many off the top of my head. I'm quite a slow reader. However, a couple that stick out would have been The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe when I was a little kid. And probably a few Roald Dahls I read in a couple of sittings, and the 39 Steps is one, and there've probably been a few others. I can usually knock out a Shakespeare play, for example, in a couple of sittings, if I've read them before, anyway. Yeah, Q is for question. You can ask me a question in the comments below. I answer every comment. Those, of course, are Jim's words, but I will also endeavour to answer any comment that is left below, so feel free to ask me anything within reason if you would like to. What's your favourite question word? My favourite question word would be why, because I like answers and I need to know why something is the way it is. It's no good you just telling me that. I want to know why. So definitely why would be my favourite question word. Q is for quantity and quality. Would you rather read 10 okay books in a month or 1 very good book? Well, personally, I think I would struggle to read 10 books in a month, okay or otherwise, and I would definitely go for quality over quantity. So certainly 1 very good book would easily be more worthwhile than 10 mediocre books. Next, Q is for queer. Do you have a favourite queer author? Well, like Summer on this one, I have to say it's not really something that I mind or think about either way, to be honest. I don't know who of the authors I've read are queer or not. The only one I would know is this, actually the same as Summer mentioned, was Christopher Isherwood, and I read Goodbye to Berlin by him, and yeah, he was homosexual, but you know, it wasn't the reason I read it, and it certainly didn't have any bearing on the story for me as to whether or not the author was queer or not. I'm sure I probably do have a favorite queer author. I just don't know that they're queer. So I don't really mind. I mean, I don't look at a book. I don't even know sometimes if the author I'm reading is male or female. So, you know, and I don't care if you know, I don't read books specifically to like fill quotas in my reading list, you know. I don't think, okay, great, here's a black author, I'm going to read it and say I've read it, you know. Or, okay, here's a lesbian author, I'm going to read it and say, yeah, look at me, I've read books by lesbians, aren't I open-minded? I don't care. I really don't mind. I don't mind your sexual orientation, your race, your gender, whatever. If it's a good book, it's going to be a good book. It has no bearing on to me, what your sexual orientation is or anything else. So, there we go. Q is for quiet. Do you need quiet to read? No, I don't need quiet. I don't like quiet. I don't want quiet to read. I find quiet distracting. I need a kind of general hubbub of a cafe or low music, preferably instrumental, because sometimes I'll start singing and that does kind of affect my concentration. But generally speaking, no, I prefer to have some noise. Otherwise, I find it very difficult to concentrate. Probably I'm too scared to be left alone with my own thoughts, you know. Next, Q is for Quran. Have you read the Quran? No, I owned it. Probably still do, actually, back in England. Haven't had the chance to read it yet. I have dipped my toes into the Bible every now and again. I did read a fantastic children's illustrated Bible when I was a child, which gave all the kind of parables and stories and that kind of thing, and it was fantastic. But the Quran, not yet, but I hope to someday. Q is for Quack. Why does Pei have so many ducks in his videos? That's Pei, of course, at attention. I honestly have no idea, but Pei seems like a really nice chap, so I'm sure if you really want to know the answer to that, just leave a comment on one of his videos, and I'm sure he will answer it. Q is for Queensland, Qatar, Quito and Quebec. Have you read a book from any of these places or anywhere beginning with Q? Yes, I've read a book that took part, or partly took part, in Quito, in Ecuador, and it was A River of Darkness, and it was following some early conquistadors as they traveled through Amazon rainforest, down the river and that kind of thing, and that was really interesting. Quebec, I'm not sure, I can't remember. Years ago I read, when they first came out, the first and second, maybe third even, of Kathy Reichs' books. Temperance Brennan, I think it was later made into a TV show, Bones, but this was way before that. And I'm pretty sure they were set in Canada, and when they said, or at least she was from Montreal or Quebec, I'm not sure, I can't remember. I've read also books set in Qin, Qin, because I like history, Chinese history, Asian history, and that kind of thing. So I have read books set there, and that would be, of course, at least part of modern day China, but anywhere else I'm not sure. Q is for Quaker. Has there been a Quaker protagonist or character in any of your reading? Not that I'm aware of. As Summer said in her video, they kind of seem to pop in and out of some stories, and I haven't registered it if they have been in my reading. Though I will say, of course, my favourite booktube channel, Quaker booktube channel, would of course be hers, Cozy Reading with Quaker Cat. So there you go, Summer. I'm trying to see how many times I can fit you into this video, you know, as kind of a thank you for tagging me in it. Q is for quotation. Can you share some quotations about reading? Yes, I can. I'm having to look now because this is actually the second time I've had to record this. Same sound issues as last time. So let's see. I really enjoyed the one from George R.R. Martin that Jim talked about, but there are a few others that I really like. One is by Dr. Seuss, so I don't know if I'm going to be in trouble by using that one, but it is: the more that you read, the more things you will know, the more that you learn, the more places you'll go. And I think that's really nice, regardless of what you think of Dr. Seuss. Another one I really like is Mark Twain's classic, a book which people praise and don't read, and I'm sure there is some truth to that. And the other one is by Oscar Wilde, and from his Picture of Dorian Gray, the books that the world calls immoral are books that show the world its own shame. So that's very nice. And actually, luckily, in the first part of the recording, I did miss out a question here, so hopefully now I will remember to put it in. Q is for Quill. Have you had any writings published? No, not really. I was, some school newsletters, if that counts. A town newsletter that I was part of the editorial team for a very short while, just 2 episodes before we kind of lost interest in doing it here in the Czech Republic, where I did some articles and things in English, but it was good fun, and technically I suppose they were published. Maybe the odd thing when I was a kid, in the local newspaper or something like that, but I can't remember off the top of my head. Q is for quiz question, and Quill It featured in which Dickens novel? I believe it's The Old Curiosity Shop, but I'm not 100% sure, but I could Google it, but I'm not going to cheat, I suppose. Not this time. Bonus prompts. Q is for Queen. Do you have a favourite book about a queen or even the queen? Well, I'm not a big monarchist. I do. I mean, for me, the best royals are the dead ones, and that's because I like history and I like the royals from the more distant past. Queens, I mean, my favourite queen, of course, would be Elizabeth I. I think she's fantastic. Not quite. The various she-wolves of England. I think there's a book by Alison Weir, maybe, The She-Wolves of England, and it looks into some of these medieval women and their fantastic careers. And one I really like, though not technically a queen, although she was King's mother, is anything to do with Lady Margaret Beaufort, because she was a remarkable woman. She was pregnant, I think, at like age 13, which of course is really shocking. She had her child, which was the future Henry VII, Henry Tudor of England. Her husband died just before his birth, or just after his birth, with plague. She was left alone in this huge castle in Wales, and then she had to kind of look out for herself and, of course, her baby son. And she was just a remarkable woman, and I think she deserves to have a lot of attention thrown on her. You can come to her a little bit in, for example, Con Ingledon's books about the Wars of the Roses, because that was the period she was living in. So it was even trickier than normal times, perhaps. Q is for Quetzal. Have you ever seen one? Unfortunately not, or at least I don't know if I have, although they are rather beautiful birds. Q is for quadruped. A chance to show your four-legged pet. Well, that's Elvis, and I will take any chance I can get to show him. So here you are. Okay, and the last one is Q for quarrel. Have you ever argued about a book? No, of course not. Yes, of course I have. Debated, perhaps. Disagreed on. I'm not sure about quarrels, and certainly, they've always been, amicable, I suppose. Though, I do find myself protective of some books that I really like, and, I have to calm down sometimes when I watch people's videos here, and they go off, quite rightly, as it's their opinion, on certain things that I just think they sometimes just look for things that aren't there. Or if they are, it's just a mere suggestion, and they're too easy to cancel or judge certain things. And it happened to me the other day. A book I dearly loved was really ripped apart by somebody, and it took all my power of self-control not to kind of get into an argument over it or even comment on it, because at the end of the day I thought, what good would it do? This person's made up their opinion, to which they're entitled to, even though of course they're wrong. No, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to mention it. I'm going to leave it like that. So I suppose I should tag some people. I will tag Vin at Revenant Reads if he hasn't done it, Michael K. Vaughan, and Shelley Swearingen as well if they haven't done it so far. So there we go. Thank you very much for watching, and look forward to seeing you all soon. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.